The music is playing. We're back indoors at the Luke Urban Fieldhouse for Big 3 volleyball as the Lady Boxers from Brockton head to Fall River. Hello again, everybody. I'm Evan Massu, joined again by Coach Brendan Kelly, the boys volleyball team and the girls basketball team. Great to have him alongside again. We got more Big 3 volleyball coming your way. We'll dive right in. Hilltoppers have won 3 in a row since the loss to New Bedford, and Coach Kelly Bullier says that things just are clicking right now.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the way they responded after the New Bedford game. They seem to be on the right track right now with the whole month of October ahead of them, so good things are happening.
Now, on the other side here, Brockton, always a formidable opponent. They're at 5-7 on the young season here, I should say about at the halfway mark, really. And they're going to have to win the majority of their games to get into the playoffs. They always play tough here.
Durfee Brockton's always hard. When you're in a conference game and a well-coached team with Brockton, it's always hard. But I like where Durfee's at right now.
This is a big win for both sides. Whoever comes out on top will get their first Big 3 win. They're both 0-1 in the league. So stick around. All the action next on Fred TV. Okay, sports fans, the opening ceremonies, if you will, are done, and we're ready to hit the court and get this Big 3 match underway. Evan Massoud and Brendan Kelly with you here on Fred TV as Brockton comes to Durfee for girls volleyball. And both teams, as we said in the open, Brendan, are 0-1 in the Big 3. So this is a huge game for both sides.
Yeah, once we hit October, the sights on the postseason are now within reach, and this is a big game for both squads if they're both looking to qualify for the Division I tournament. So should be an exciting match.
Certainly should be. We're during the national anthem, both sides were lined up, and or I should say right before that, you mentioned to me how Brockton is not the tallest team we've seen in recent years. Actually pretty on par with Durfee, and I'm wondering if that could help the Hilltoppers in any way.
Yeah, we're used to being undersized. We've stated before that this is one of the taller teams Coach Bowie has had in a while. But I've been around for a while, and this is not the tallest Brockton team I've seen, but that doesn't mean anything. It's you got to go and play ball.
Well, Brockton at 5-7 has a little more work to do than the Hilltoppers in terms of getting into the playoffs. Durfee at 7-5, and that's because Durfee's won the last 3 in a row since that last game we were here for.
Yeah, the last time I was on, wasn't the best performance by Durfee. I mean, a lot of that had to do with the strength of New Bedford, but Durfe's been playing well of late. They won 2 big gut check games in 5 last week, and had a really good performance versus Bishop Stang. So they're heading in the right direction. It's refreshing to see after a tough game last week against New Bedford.
Yeah, Coach Bullier actually was telling me before the game, she said, there were certain games earlier in the year that once we got back to seeing them a second time, we played them much differently. And Stang was one of them that they lost in 5 sets to Stang the first time, and then they went and swept them at Bishop Stang this past week as part of this 3-match winning streak. And that was really big for them to come back on the road and take out the opponent that beat them.
One of the keys, I think, to that is the young players just playing every day and just getting a taste of volleyball. For most of them, this is the first time they've played organized volleyball, so it takes a little while, and I definitely think that has something to do with it.
Yeah, and to that point, I mean, there are 4 freshmen. We talked about this last time. 4 freshmen on the Durfee roster. There are only 4 sophomore on Brockton's roster, and that's as young as they get. They have a lot of seniors this year, whereas Durfee, it's a much younger team. So we said the future is bright last time, and I would tend to agree as things continue to click here.
Yeah, and I definitely, like I said, the more you play and the more you're around and the speed of the game definitely helps. And, Durfee's older players, Barbara Cunha and Gabby Street, are definitely, setting the tone for them, and that's big. Barbara right
quick
there.
Whistle. So back-to-back points for the Lady Boxers after Durfee started out 4-0. And on the serve here will be number 10. That's Lila DePina. And it goes into the net. Durfee will take back over. Wearing the liberos this evening for Brockton will be Emily Cruciakenis, number 13, and for Durfee, number 16, Gabriella Strito, who you were just mentioning. So they will be filtering in and out.
Yeah, both liberos set the tone for them in the back row, set the offense together. So very important pieces on both sides.
And now we will see Jada Froyo on the serve. That is a good serve, too, right over the net. And trying to put it away, and it stays in. That's going to be, actually, I think that was 4 touches anyway, but it did get over. That was a pretty strong shot right there.
Yeah, I like Durfee's momentum coming out right now. They definitely look like they have a lot more confidence than they did a week ago, so that's great to see.
And, winning, of course, breeds confidence as well. So when things are going well, like it is for Durfee at the moment with 3 wins in a row, of course you start to build that confidence up even more.
Plus they're playing much more aggressive. I love the fact that Barbara's jump serving. She's got a very good jump serve. The problem with jump serving is consistency and, on any given day. But I love the fact that she's up right away.
That's a great serve. A little long to the left, but tons of power behind it.
Yeah, I love the idea that she's starting out aggressive right away and setting an example right away that they're here to play.
Maybe taking a cue from some of the Lady Whalers, because we saw 2 of them last time that were outstanding on the service game. Going, we said 3 different zones basically landing the ball, and that was a big part of New Bedford's success.
Yeah, they forced Durfee to play without their first and many times second option hitting, and they were forced to make tough decisions. Now it seems like they're on that. That's a great set.
And we got a good rally going here. Nice tip over the net, and it is going to be the point for Durfee. 8-4 Hilltoppers here in the early going.
Durfee's moving fast on the defensive side. They're in the right spot.
Yeah, definitely looking sharper than a week ago.
Couldn't ask for a better start. Still early in the match, but great tone setting.
So on the serve field, we'll see Celine Mayette.
Another one of the promising freshmen for Durfee. She was a good field hockey player in middle school and picked up the volleyball.
And just picked up the ace.
I think she made the right choice.
Yeah. Picked up the ace there, just floated it, and it died. That one had that knuckleball effect to it, very little spin.
Promising basketball player as well.
Which I'm sure you're thrilled about.
Yes, yeah, there's a few basketball players on the floor, so I love that. Basketball and volleyball, great transfer sports. So,
and for Durfee, 3 players on the court that are freshmen here, which is just really remarkable.
4 right now.
No, there are. You're right. Actually, I missed the 4th.
Jesse Hanine, Resendiz, Pox, and Celine Mayette.
And that's going to spark a timeout from Coach Landerholm over on Brockton's side. So about 60 seconds left in that timeout. They get 75 seconds. 10-4 Durfee here in set number 1.
We've talked about the fact that Durfee's so young, and I know we keep bringing it up, but I'm not sure if there's another team in the state right now that has state tournament aspirations and are fighting for a spot in the tournament that are playing 4 true freshmen on the floor in meaningful games. I think what the freshmen are doing is fantastic. It's not easy to do what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, they're quick learners, and they're obviously hungry to get better because, again, this is already a very different start than what we saw in the New Bedford match.
What
Durfee's doing another point.
They're not making mistakes, and they're putting the ball in play.
Yeah, a couple of those rallies, we saw that real long rally maybe 3 or 4 points ago. That just didn't even materialize in the New Bedford match. Whereas here, better communication, better awareness of the floor. We haven't really seen any net violations or anything either. You're right, it's been very clean here through the first 15 points of the game. Tapped over.
And with that, the confidence comes when you stop playing clean volleyball and you stop playing good volleyball.
Great set from Resendiz. Gemily Perez sent it over, and now Brockton on the 3rd touch will send it back to Durfee, and Hilltoppers look for more points. They'll give it back to Perez. That's in! beautiful set right there, too. Again, Resendiz looks more comfortable today, too.
She's making great decisions, and Gemily Perez, she's one of those unsung heroes. You know, she's a great leader as a senior 4-year player. You know, Barbara gets a lot of the kills. Streeto gets a lot of the passes, but she kind of gets lost under the radar, but she's a very talented player as well.
That is in play. They're going to set up, it looked like number 7, I think, on the far side. That'll be a point for Brockton. It was. Number 7 is Denisha LaFontante.
Durfee has to keep playing aggressive and keep, you know, playing, you know, from ahead.
On the serve is Mirsha Pierre. It's a good serve, and that is
That's
in.
A great, woo! Great swing, great decision.
Those are the kinds of kills there that I wish we had replay for. I'd love to see that in slow motion, you know.
Well, when you're playing with a lot of confidence and you're playing good volleyball, those are the balls that land in.
Yeah. I know. I think it's like that with any sport, actually. Resendiz on the serve here. High arcing serve that time. But, I mean, you know, it's like when in baseball you get a hitting streak, you know, 15-game hitting streak. Those little bouncers at the plate, that choppers, high choppers, you beat those out when you're on a hitting streak. When you're having a rough time, you get thrown out at first,
yes.
You know.
Durfee's doing very well at the service line. They're kind of taking a page out of New Bedford's book. Nothing super overpowering, but they're putting the ball in play, forcing Brockton to play their style.
Sending it over, third touch, defended at the net, and it popped back. And now DeCunha Silva sent it over. Whoa, bounced right back on the dig. So Durfee gets to go back on the offensive. Perez shoots it long, and it's a little too much there, out of play.
It's an aggressive swing. That's what you want there. Every hit is with a purpose. So.
And again, you know, we saw how quick Durfee was to react, because on DeCunha's swing, it was dug out and bounced. It came right back over the net. So Brockton never even got a chance to play it. They'll get a shot here with third time over.
They're getting a lot of free balls, and Durfee's capitalizing on them.
DeCunha Silva from the back. That's out of play.
Ooh. And that's the one that goes out of bounds.
That one did, yeah. And actually, our official here on the stand initially motioned to Durfee and then went back the other way. So 14-7, Brockton serving. That's going to go out too. And if you're just tuning in, Durfee actually in the gray uniforms, Brockton in the red.
The gray uniforms, that's a Coach Boulia special.
I like them. The charcoal is like becoming very popular.
They are a little different.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's the third color, Durfee, maybe the fourth color. But a little different.
Out. Ooh. Well, that's a tough call. That looked like it might have been out.
Yeah, it looked in all right. I think it was the right call. The thing with volleyball is you can't get too high and too low. It's still early in the match. Durfee's doing a lot of nice things, but Brockton's Brockton. They're going to come back, and you know, this is a meaningful game to them as well.
That goes out of bounds, too. So Brockton on a bit of a run here. It was 14-7, and that was on the serve. So actually it was 14-6 before they took over. So 4-point run here for the Boxers.
Shields is, without a doubt, a very aggressive server, left-handed. She's got some nice movement on her ball.
Good dig there from Barbara, but she couldn't get it high enough for anybody to make a play on it. Next to her was Adriana Fernandez, and she couldn't do anything with it. So 14-11, as you said, Boxers coming back. Zendi's with the set going back.
Nicole Parks with a great hand on the block. Good transition.
Perez. And that's going to give the ball back to the Hilltoppers. Boxers couldn't handle it that time, and it wasn't actually hit that hard. Just kind of good placement there from Perez.
When I'm coaching the boys, when we get in those situations where another team is serving us, we want to do it with a volleyball play, not an error on their part. And Durfee had a good pass, good offense, and they did it a volleyball play.
Great serve there from Gemily Perez. She'll get to do it again as Durfee goes back up to a 5-point lead.
Just got to keep the ball in front of them and worry about the point. There's no 9-pointers.
No. Another one that can't be returned. So back-to-back nasty serves right there from Perez.
Again, the service game for Durfee is much different than the past weeks. They're being aggressive and forcing Brockton to, struggle on their service eve.
Now, I was looking at the MIAA schedule, and we were very surprised checking in on our opponent. New Bedford got their first loss, and according to the MIAA, it was a 3-0 sweep at the hands of Bridgewater Rainham after they swept the table through the first 7 games.
After they played Durfee, they went to 5 against Case last Friday, I believe, and we all know that Case is one of the powerhouses in Division III. They're Division III by name only, and they play a very hard schedule. Former Durfee alum Michaela Gonzalez does a great job over there. And Bridgewater Rainham, as I saw them play against Durfee, they're tall, they're athletic, well coached, so surprising a little.
Yeah. So Brockton, one good thing for them is they play after today. They have 7 games left on the schedule, and 5 of those are at home. So that's nice to be able to say you're going to finish on your home court.
Totally different than Durfee, who's just about on the road the rest of the season. I believe their senior night is, if I'm not mistaken, might be next week.
Yeah, it's pretty early. I think I still have their schedule saved here somewhere. Too many photos in the phone. Here we go. Girls volleyball. The world of saving paper and going to electronic devices. That's out. Should be Brockton.
That was a tough one.
Wow. So they say no point?
No point. That was a close one.
That was a lot clearer than the last one. It sure looked like it. And Coach Bullier was right on the line even, too. So a stalemate on that rally. But, yes, you're right. Durfee's senior night is a week from Monday. So not Columbus Day, but
Bishop Conley, if I'm not mistaken.
It is Conley.
Correct?
And then 5 in a row on the road, including a season-ending match against Brockton on the road. So the rematch is to end the season on the road. Yeah, tough road ahead for Durfee. They'll have to do it. And, Conley being a lower division, there's still no slouch at former Hilltopper.
Another Durfee alum.
Sarah Pereira.
Yep.
Yep, she graduated with me, actually, class of 07.
She's done a great job over there.
And they're having a good season. Oh, that's a tough serve right there. So back to Brockton it goes.
They've already qualified, right? 10-2.
I think so, yeah. I think they did. I remember seeing her post something on Facebook about getting into the playoffs, if memory serves right. So, again, a lower division, but Durfee tends to play Conley in volleyball, in girls volleyball every year, so it's a nice rivalry.
Yeah, they're always the Ellsbury Street rivalry is always tough.
That's right. I'd like to see, I know it's tough with some of the sports, given the division and given that Conley and Diamond have more conference games, that's out. But I really think it would be great to get back to this, the Fall River Series and see all 3 schools play each other in whatever sports that they all play in. Like for baseball and, say, girls volleyball, all 3 schools have a team. It's different for boys volleyball because Durfee's the only one in the city that has a boys volleyball team. There's a good kill.
Another great swing by Barbara DeCunha. Barbara does a great job of seeing the floor, too. You'll notice right now she's going cross-court, but she does a good job of picking up, where the holes are. She'll switch it up as the game goes.
So 21-14, that's a good serve. Again, put in play. Brockton's got to play it, and they get the point there. Bouncing off the hands there of DeCunha Silva into the ground. And taking over will be Jada Froyo, her second time serving.
Durfee's going to stay aggressive and play to win at the end of this set.
Yeah, got to close it out. Don't want to give anybody a chance. It's the Brockton girls, the JV team to the left of us, starting their cheers. And it gives Durfee, though, the point.
Everybody seems to be doing their job right here. Coach Bowie is, subbed a lot. Everybody's kind of playing in their own spots, and they're looking good. They're going to continue to play with confidence. And
we'll see DeCunha Silva on the serve here. This is her second go-around as well.
She stayed on the floor.
She did, and that just went out, so maybe a couple inches. So it's 22-16. Durfee going to try to get it back here, and again, close out the first set here strong with the win. JV lost 2-0 to Brockton, so Durfee JV got swept.
A lot of freshmen on the JV and a freshman team for the first time in years.
I know. I did not even realize that. That's in, and another good kill for Durfee.
Kudia Silva is on fire right now. She's feeling it in this first set. Every swing has been very powerful. The ones that have gone out have been barely. She's shown great leadership. That's what you got to do when you're the best player.
Mayette is going to go on the serve here in a moment. She got the okay now from our official. And that's going to be in play. I thought that was going out of bounds, actually. It had a bit of a curl to it, but it was played.
Very tough spot. Great decision by Mayette also.
And we got a set point here in the first set. 24-16, Hilltoppers. And Mayette will look to serve it out here. Take a 1-0 lead.
Mayette made the great decision on that dig. Just put it up in the air for Barbara.
Look at that.
That's a great spot.
Durfee wins the first set 25-16. And an impressive serve to close it out as well. Their soft touch, just dropping it into no man's land.
That's as good of a start, and it's only the first set, and it takes 3 to win, but that's as good of a start as I've seen the girls' volleyball team, especially against a caliber of opponent as Brockton, in a long time. Very, very refreshing to see.
All right, well, Coach, we're going to take actually a quick timeout while we have the 3-minute timeout here because Diamond had some Mayflower League action in girls volleyball yesterday, and they faced off against BP. So we're going to take a look at some highlights of that. We'll be back with set number 2 in just a minute. Lady Bengals and Lady Craftsman showing off the pink colors for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We'll pick it up late in the first set. BP with a 21-7 lead and looking for more. Craftsman returned the serve from the Bengals, but on the putback from Emma Slater, Lydia Ducharme slaps it down to the floor. BP with the point. They would take set 1 in impressive fashion. So we'll move on to set 2. Ducharme now serving, and it's not returned. Counted as an ace for the Craftsman. 3-0 the score to start the second set. A little later, 4-1 the score. Bengals get another point back. Kayla Ferreira to Emily Moniz for the set, to Riley Zitano for the finish. Good placement there in the open court. That makes it 4-2. But the Craftsmen just too strong overall. They improved to 9-2 on the season with the sweep in 3 sets of the Bengals. Diamond drops to 3-10 with the loss. All right, and we're back here in the field house. Kind of a tough match there for Diamond in that loss to BP. They got swept, and BP now just 1 win away from qualifying for the tournament overall. Never mind any league status for them. Tough year for Diamond so far, but Kathy Noversa, another great coach, former Hilltopper.
Hall of Famer in the Girls Volleyball Coaches Association.
Exactly. She is. She's fantastic, and many people don't realize this, but my first week when we were doing Common Thread News, when I was doing my sports anchoring on GTV, on our government channel, Kathy, Don Schwinnard, and you were my first 3 interviews because you guys were tuning up for the playoffs in the spring because we started that show in the spring, and you guys had, I think it was Wareham, and you said, oh, this is going to be a great tune-up because we're in the playoffs, but Kathy was actually my first interview, and I mean, we hadn't really ever done Diamond Sports until I came on, and the same could be said for Conley. It was pretty much just Durfee, so being a city show, we were able to kind of expand out and cover some of the other high school sports, and I have to say, Diamond, they have been just nothing but great to us. Keith Allen has been great, the coaches are great, and we're so thrilled to still be in relationship with them in terms of covering their games and stuff because they're always great, always fun games.
Not bad company, Kathy Nervosa and Bucky Schwinnard as your first interviews.
I know, and
definitely third I'm at the bottom of that totem pole.
Oh, jeez. Well, Bucky, he was actually my guidance counselor here. He graduated
me as well
at the end of my sophomore year. Yeah, I know, right?
Retired.
Who didn't know Yeah, retired. Thank you. I graduated after senior year, but after sophomore year, Bucky retired, and but he still went on to continue coaching until only recently, and he's and he's still finding ways to coach and stuff. With the River City camp and all that stuff. So he's still involved. He's just a real stand-up guy.
Great guy. I went to his baseball camp when I was younger. He was also a guidance counselor when I was here at Durfee, and he's a gentleman.
Yeah, total class act. He's up there with some of the best in Fall River High School sports. He always jokes. He says, "I can't keep breaking my record now, not coaching regularly because I have the most losses as a coach."
He's being humble. He has a lot of wins as well.
I know. He always would joke about that, but yeah, great coach, and he was coaching baseball at Conley when my dad went to Conley. So we've all known Bucky for a long time.
Barbara DeCunha setting the tone again in game 2. 2 very good swings.
Yeah, a 2-2 score early here, and we'll see Emma Resendiz on the serve here, trying to keep it in Durfee's control here. That's a good kill for Brockton right in front of the net. That was number 11, Ayanna Griffith. She gets the point there, and Brockton takes over. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is Brockton's first lead of the match.
Yeah, Durfee's going to have a short memory of that first set because, this is Brockton, and they're going to come back right now, and it's a very important game for both teams. So as good as Durfee's feeling about their performance in set 1, they need to reset and, attack game 2 with the same mentality they did.
Yeah, to coin Tom Brady, laser focus. Got to play with laser focus and worry about now and not anything else.
Plenty of teams have won set 1, so they nice start, but they still gotta keep pushing. Stay aggressive on the back line and force Brockton to play Durfee style.
Gemily Perez had a good service game in the first set, and that's a good serve there.
She started way behind the line too.
I know,
very old school approach. I love it.
Jada Froyo sends it into the net, and that'll tie back up for a side, and Perez will continue to serve, try to get Durfee back that lead. Always easier to play ahead than it is to play from behind. That's going to go long, though. A little too much behind that one.
When I was playing in high school, that was very much the style, that type of serve, way behind the line. You can make a lot of things happen with the ball, and since then, it's kind of gone away, and when you can get a player that's comfortable that far away from the service line, it's tough for the other team, so I like the aggressiveness from Gemily.
So kind of like DeCunha Silva's jump serve as well, right? Tough to handle.
Yeah, that's it's just on any given day to, if she's going to land it in. If she's going to land it in, she's going to have a bunch of them. If it's a little wild, and she's a good enough player to know if she's got it or not. Kind of like a shooter in basketball. When you're feeling it,
yeah,
you know.
Well, quick sub there for Brockton. It'll be Telma Takang on the serve now, number 1. We actually haven't seen her yet, so this is her first action. Played by Streeto. Sent over. Was it touched? No. Good control there by DePina. She thought about it. You saw her put her arms out, and she pulled them back just in time.
She made the right decision, but again, Barbara DeCunha is staying very, very aggressive. And
played by Streeto in the back again. Resendiz will set up DeCunha Silva. She does not take the swing. Instead, she just lofts it over. Gives Brockton back the opportunity. A whistle, and Brockton will have it.
Brockton's established they're hitting a little bit more in set 2, so Durfee's going to have to retune their defense and be a little bit quicker. It's not going to be the free balls that it was in the first set.
And that was, of course, that point was a foul at the net there, right?
That's a great hit by Nicole Parks.
It is, and it gives Durfee control back. We'll make it 7-5.
If Parks and Mayette can start hitting consistently like that, that's going to give Durfee a third and a valuable third and fourth option for the stretch run. That was very impressive.
Streeto going to go on the serve here.
Game in and game out, Streeto is quietly doing her job in the back. Right now, she's setting the Durfee offense from her passing.
Nicely played there by Nara Diaz. But it'll go Brockton's way, and they go back on the serve. Mirsha Pierre will get ready behind the line, send it over.
Mara Diaz, though, did a nice job on that pass. She's a senior. She's one of those players. She does her job every day. She's a great teammate. Tough ball.
That might have been going out, but Streeto played it. And that is going to fall out of bounds. 9-5, Brockton.
It's volleyball being played. It's not a lot of mistakes, so you just gotta, Brockton's gonna come in with their offense. They're gonna play volleyball plays. We gotta do the same.
Into the net. Lila DePina can't get it over, kind of swatted at it, didn't get a good hit. And it'll be 9-6. Durfee gets to serve. We're going to see Adriana Fernandez serve. I think this is actually her first opportunity to serve.
She's one of the elder statesmen on the team as a sophomore. Normally, a sophomore on the varsity is a big deal, and she kind of falls under the radar because there's so many of the young players, but she's another rising sophomore that has done a really nice job. Fernandez has been around the game for a long time. Her brother and sister both played. When her brother Manny played for me, I got to go back and do that.
Manny was her brother. I did not realize that. Kicked. Oh, and it just doesn't make it over. Of course, the kicks count. The kicks do count.
The kick was cool, but the pancake by Gabby Streeto was even more impressive. That was textbook.
Yes. A tough point for Durfee to have to give back. But nonetheless, 10-7 now, Brockton, and it'll be Melia Shields.
She got it going the first set. She's got a lot of movement on her ball.
Nice
left-handed.
dig, out of bounds, though. So I do remember Manny. Manny was around that that first season I covered.
2013 he graduated. He's one of the best I've ever had. He was a very, very talented volleyball player.
Yeah.
Hit the ball a ton.
Oh, I know. And I remember, I'd be shooting highlights from along the screen here, just out of bounds. And, I get like 5 in a row that were just him. I'm like, somebody else hit the ball. I got to showcase somebody else. Yeah, he was very good.
I had Manny as when I was coaching the freshman basketball team back then. Yeah. And I said, what are you doing in the spring? And he said, nothing. I said, well, you're playing volleyball. And he was like, I don't know how to play. I'm like, don't worry about it.
Oh, too much to handle. Ayana Griffith can't send it back over as DeCunha Silva sent another bullet into Brockton's zone. But, Manny was actually in our Fred TV program. So
yep.
You had Hunter Reese, too, was on your team.
Yep,
Hunter,
2013.
Hunter's out in L.A. now, working with E.
And he's doing behind the scenes or on camera stuff for a living now, correct?
Oh yeah, he's doing great. I can't even believe how many of the Fred TV graduates and people from Fall River, around my age or a little younger, are out. It's like Fall River West out there in LA now. It's incredible.
Hunter was an Emerson College grad.
Yep. Good block in front. It's still in play. Griffith gets it back. Great block by Griffith. Great job by the Hilltoppers to dig it out, but Griffith prevails on the second chance.
Brockton's attack is much more crisp. This is the Brockton that I was anticipating in set one. Durfee's right there. They got to keep going aggressive right at him.
That's going to sail out of play. 14-9, a 5-point Brockton lead. Yeah, looking more and more like we won't actually see a sweep, which is actually a good thing. The sweeps go quick, but you hate to see a one-sided affair. especially in big money games like these.
No, you wanna see good volleyball going back and forth at each other, and that's what the Big Three is all about.
And that makes it 15-9, that last point. Coach Boulier wants timeout. And, yes, Brockton most certainly has stepped it up here in the second set. A different team looking much stronger than they did in set one. Almost like they weren't ready, or they were just trying to see what Durfee had to offer in that first set, because totally different team from that first set, without a doubt.
Durfee's got to continue to be aggressive. And one thing they did with their attack was they weren't making mistakes. The ball was in play. They were forcing Brockton to play. A couple balls have gone out of bounds, a couple missed serves. And this is where we have our score now. But if they get back to getting the ball in play and making volleyball plays, they'll be fine.
Yeah, I have to say, when JV was playing, you and I were both actually helping out with the scoreboard. And I know how to score basketball. I can score baseball. But I got to tell you, I don't know how you guys score volleyball. That looks like the most complicated thing on the planet. It's like rocket science.
Yeah, you definitely need to.
I mean, really? I didn't even know where to start. I remember, actually, I think I asked you or Kelly one year, and I said, I got to learn how to score. And you're like, no, you really don't want to learn.
Being a volleyball coach, it's not only do you have to have great assistants, but you got to have somebody on the scoreboard and score sheet every game.
It is complicated.
I actually, when I was coaching the girls at Somerset years ago, I actually forced my wife to learn how to do it. We were in a bind, and I'm like, hey, you got to watch this video, and you need to know how to do it. And now she does it for us whenever we need it, and she's become very good at it.
Little miscommunication there from the Hilltoppers. Brockton continues to control the flow here in game number 2, set number 2, and will continue to serve. Need a good set and a good finish here. Parks wants it. It's played by the libero there, Krushakenis, and it's out of play, but did Durfee swat at it?
When you try to be over-aggressive at the net, you tend to overcompensate on that block, and that's where we're getting some of these touches on the net. They're aggressive mistakes.
And Resendiz gets the bad news that it's still Brockton ball. I think she thought she was serving. So it's 18-9 it should be, I believe. Resendiz sets up Perez. Blocked at the net. That was...
Yes, I would have called that too. Double hit.
Double hit,
a lot of spin on that ball.
At the net there, Griffith again using the height. She's been in front there right in the middle of the net. She's doing a good job on D here in the second set.
Being on this side of the game, I almost jumped up and said double. Can't do that on this side.
Nice dig on the serve, but unable to get it over on that third touch was Olivia Cutts.
One play at a time for Durfee. It's already been established. It's going to be a long match.
Another good serve there. Griffith. Too much to handle. Strito can't get it.
Griffith's had a great second set. She's hitting the ball very well.
Brockton serves again. We'll see Froyo on the serve. It's 18-11. Resendiz sets it a little further back. Perez plays it on our near side here. Griffith's got to send it over, kind of swats at it. Still in play. Dug out by Resendiz. And can't get it over.
That was going to get called back regardless. She jumped over the line.
So 19-11. Brockton continues to kind of pull away here in the second set. Looking like we'll see things even up here. Of course, anything can happen, but. Cuts, sends it over. DeCunha Silva played it. Perez. And it's just out of play. On the side there, out of play. It had distance, it would have been good, but it hooked a little bit to the left.
That ball probably falls in play in game 1.
Yeah. Good serve there, a little bit soft of a serve. Back to Perez. She wasn't expecting it, I don't think. 10-point lead for the Boxers. That's the largest lead for them. 21-11. They just keep serving here as well, so Froyo will get to do it again.
They're forcing Durfee to not have their one, in many cases, their second option.
Yeah, the hits too not falling for the Hilltoppers either. A lot of balls going out of bounds, and Coach Bullier wants another timeout here. So two very one-sided sets here.
Yeah, big thing for Durfee is they've got to realize there's a long match ahead of them. You know, get the momentum. I know that's a terminology used in volleyball quite a bit. It's more of get the play in front of you and stack those up a couple at a time, and you know, and then the confidence starts coming back again, and you start doing the things you were doing in set one. So it's going to be a long match. They just got to start doing some positive things.
So 22-11 is the score here. Set number 2. Brockton just a couple points shy of knotting things up here in the match. 1 set per side.
Starting to remind me of basketball season with the Brockton chants.
I know, they love them. They come ready and prepared, and they're usually on our side where the table is. They're usually on our side because for basketball, the visitors set up right here in front of us on this right side. So they sit behind their own bench, and they shake the table like you wouldn't believe what they're stomping. But good to see the enthusiasm, of course. That's it for the timeout. So we head back to the court now. Froyo sends it over. Parks with the fingertip. Good job by Resendiz to get in front there, and there's the point back. Parks does get it.
Nicole Parks is swinging with a lot of confidence. Got 3 kills right now, and just establishing as a nice threat at the net.
So Perez gets to serve. Down by 10. That's a great serve there. Good power. Cuts, sends it over on the 3rd touch. Strito down to the ground. Plays it back again. Nice job by Resendiz. He's going to get it over, and they can't do it. Good attempt there, though, from the Hilltoppers.
One of the very few free balls Brockton gave this set. They've been attacking all set, and that was one of the few frees.
So it should be 23-12. And we're going to have, I think, a sub here. We're going to see Takang come in for Griffith, it appears.
And Griffith had a great run in the front row, swinging well, put a few really good kills down.
Sure, the Hilltoppers are going to be happy to see her take a seat for a little bit.
Take advantage of her being in the back row right now.
Exactly.
While being subbed out of the back row.
So Takang will serve. That's a good serve, too. Good power behind it, and they can't do anything with it. It's like Strito and Diaz were a little bit, or Diaz were kind of knotted up there. This is for set number 2. 24-12, next point for Brockton. Evens things up.
Great pass by Mara Diaz.
DeCunha Silva sends it over. Played by DePina. They'll send it over now, and it's right into the court. Brockton takes set number 2, 25-12 in impressive fashion.
Time to regroup for the Hilltoppers. What I tell my boys is all that was done was Durfee did exactly what they were supposed to do. They set the tone and won set 1. And Brockton, being the good team that they are, they did what they were supposed to do. They won the second one, so now we're best of 3.
Of course, these varsity volleyball matches are best of 5. So you got to win 3 sets, and now we're guaranteed to see 4. And if it gets to 5, we go up to 15 points.
Yeah, that 5th game's quick with the change at 8. Stat check for athletic director Buston.
Yeah, getting out the tweets. Brad standing next to us, listening in as we converse throughout the match. Oh, he hasn't been listening. He put us on mute. Thanks, Brad. About 90 seconds left. We'll be heading back to the field to play. So did you get to catch any of the Pats Thursday night game?
With an 8-month-old at home, I was very I was very proud to say that I made it to halftime last night.
There you go.
Not much of the Red Sox game, and wasn't very happy with the fact that when I did get home yesterday, I couldn't find it on TV. Well, it was an MLB network.
I know, a last-minute change. They had some soccer going on FS1. It was supposed to be on FS1. And of course, if you're watching now, folks, we taped this here. Oh, good news. The Sox are down 8-1. This is in Game 2 of the ALDS because it is Friday night, and any of the Friday night games, as you know, don't get on until the beginning of next week. So we don't know if, at this point,
if the Red Sox will still be playing baseball.
If we're still going to be playing when, the Sox should be done while you're watching this because it's going to take a couple days to get it on, and we have the long weekend. But I can tell you that Sunday I'm going to the game, and I'm hoping they don't lose.
That could be prepared that it could be the last baseball game.
Yeah, and, I got to be honest with you. I'm not surprised in the least bit. I'm really not. I think that they have been an underachieving team for about 145 games. The 15 to 17 games here that I exclude would be that run at the beginning of August, and that's it. I have not been impressed. Everybody in that lineup for the Sox thinks they're a 50 home run hitter instead of just trying to make contact and put a rally together. They're all swinging for the fences, and they end up with choppers to the right side. It's just awful.
I don't know if
I don't like it.
I don't know if I fall into the generation. I mean, 03 and 04, I was a junior and senior in college. With that era, and I don't think anything will ever top that. But
no, I would agree.
They don't seem to have the star power that's really generating, the interest. I think winning 3 World Series since then has done something to the hunger of New England fans. But
yeah, I think you're right. And
it's just different.
You look at what the Patriots have done over the last 3 seasons, and it's like, how do you top that? I mean, aside from, 2013, when the Sox last won the World Series, they had a last place finish the year before. They finished, I think, last, right?
14 and 15 were also last.
Yeah. And now the last 2 years they've made it in. But that's because the rest of the division was mediocre. They got swept last year with Ortiz, and now this year they're in danger of getting swept as well. Again, we're broadcasting this while they're still in it, so disclaimer there.
But Sale, as good as he is, he's not Pedro. He's not even Derek Lowe. It just doesn't. I understand he's a great
he's
player.
had an incredible season. But one of the interesting things in Game 1 there that they were Cott was talking about, because he did the game with Bob Costas on MLB. He was saying, Chris Sale's arm angle has dropped. He's more sidearm, and he kept saying that, and I think he's right, because the breaking stuff was all flat. And it's been flat the last couple starts. I think that's why he's had trouble. But then what, makes me wonder is, and I've always liked Farrell as a pitching coach, but I've never been, thrilled with him as a manager. And I think people made him out to be, a godsend because he came in after Bobby V and they won the World Series. But I loved Tito Francona, and I still hate that they had to let him go. I understand why they did. Didn't have control over the team. Things were happening. There's distractions. I get it. But some talk about distractions there. A little bit of miscommunication for Durfee. 3-1 Brockton here in set 3. But
we could talk about Red Sox all day.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You look at Farrell and as a former pitching coach and now manager, you would think that between him and his pitching coach, they would have noticed that, hey, something's changed with Sale. Why isn't he pitching like he was at the beginning of the year? Let's take a look at some tape. Instead, he got rocked in Game 1 of his first playoff start. So it's, I hate to say it, but if things didn't pan out for the Sox in this series, I think Farrell might be gone. I really do. And I'd like to see Veritek as our next manager, and that seems to be the rumor that's why he's hanging around.
Well,
so,
that's been a rumor. That's been a rumor for a handful of years.
I know,
now.
and that's why I think he is still stuck around. I would love to see Captain Tech be Manager Tech. That would be awesome.
That could bring back a little bit of that 03, 04 flavor.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He was one of my favorite players for years. Just a great leader. I'd love to see him be the manager. Anyway, back to volleyball.
Durfee started out with a little more urgency.
But now we've seen a lot of miscommunication, though, too, in this third set, almost like trying to do too much.
Coach Blee is also going to have to get a little creative with a substitute pattern, too. A few of the girls have played 2 sets in the JV, so you max out at 5.
Yeah.
As you see, number 4, Mariah Rowland, is in the game now.
Yeah, you can't play more than 5 sets in a 24-hour period, right? It's just for exhaustion and usage. So, to your point, knowing that this is not going to be a three-set match, you're going to go to 4. Going to have to be interesting, some interesting decisions here. That did not get over, so 6-3 Brockton. They get the ball back.
Durfee's got to get back to putting the ball in play and forcing volleyball plays. Not waiting for other teams' mistakes. Want to play volleyball.
Griffith, no, not Griffith, my bad. Takang on the serve.
Well, having Griffith on the bench right now, Durfee's got to make some things happen.
What a nice dig there. I'm sorry to cut you off, but that was beautifully done there by Froyo. But you're right, yes, Griffith being on the bench, Hilltoppers most certainly need to take advantage of that. Because she was outstanding in the front line there in set number 2.
Yeah, she set.
And she's coming in now.
She's probably going to play in the back row right now, but not having her in the front, Durfee's got to. Well, they're doing my substitute pattern that I do. They had a designated server.
Yeah.
The scorers hate when I do that too. An extra sub.
You just keep solidifying why I'm not going to score. I'm not going to learn. I got too much to worry about anyway. While
it's going to take a while.
Another tough serve for the Hilltoppers as Mayada Rowland come in here, number 4. Came into the game in addition to the roster, and she could not get it over.
I have Rowland in PE class, and I obviously have a hard time pronouncing the first name. I said, how do you say it in English? She said Mariah. I said, well, easy enough.
I know, and I asked, she was at the score table, she said, it's Mayada. So I said, all right, you want the accent? I'll give you the accent. To the best of my ability, I'll give you the accent. 8-4 Brockton back on the serve here. That's short as Pierre could not get it over.
Durfee's got to get their emotions in check right now. It's a 3-point game. That's nothing in rally scoring volleyball. Worry about the play in front of them and stack those up.
DeCunha Silva going to serve. She lines way back up, but she does not jump it. Great serve. Kept in, going way back. Can they get it over?
Keep the hands up.
It is still in.
A few of the fans are questioning why the ball's still in play.
Yeah.
It was touched, at least from where I was saying.
Mm-hmm. Brockton gets the point.
Yeah. It was touched on our side.
Yeah, I couldn't. You have a little better angle than I do.
Perez touched it, and then it resetted the 3 touches again.
And now that into the net. So we've also seen, that first set was quite clean, and we're seeing both sides here some tough serves as well going into the net and causing some points to get piled up versus like actually putting it in play. Got to get it over that net. Nice dig by DeCunha Silva, but it goes out of play. 10-6.
Brockton's obviously attacking much better than they did in the first set.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
They're causing Durfee's defense to stay on their toes. Again, it's only a 4-point game, but they got to get the one in front of them.
Christian Kennis will serve here in the libero. That's going backwards. Going to have to send it over on the 3rd touch.
Durfee's going to have to set their defense quick.
DeCunha Silva with the kick, but no good. Brockton will get to serve again. Resendiz towards the net. And
the serve receive is not as crisp as it was.
no, because Resendiz couldn't even get a set on that, just had to loft it, and it ended up in that no man's land there, kind of grazing the net. There's very little you can do with that.
Sometimes starting as well as they did is fool's gold because, I mean, at the end of the day, this is Brockton on the other side, and it wasn't going to be like that the whole game. You know, you gotta at all times worry about the one in front of you, and that's it. You know, 1 point at a time, and sometimes that switch over the side is the worst thing that happens.
That is a soft serve. It just made it over after Parks had gotten the ball back for the Hilltoppers. This is trouble. Does that go over? It's
That's
in
a
play.
heck of a get.
Big play there for the Hilltoppers. Perez.
Great spot.
Defended on the other side. Still in, and then Hilltoppers give it back.
That's great volleyball on both
Oh, yeah.
sides. There's nothing to hang their head about. That's good volleyball. That's the type of momentum that you can gain. You just you had a good rally. Didn't go your way, but you can build a lot off that.
It's been a real good match, actually. Really enjoyable here. That's going to fall in. And Parks with another kill gets it right back.
Her fourth of the night. Starting to fill up the stat sheet.
13-8. And Perez serves. She's been busy. She's had a lot of opportunities to serve.
She's still way back behind the line.
And it's not going to make it
stay
over.
aggressive.
And Froyo, another one who has had a lot of opportunities to serve for Brockton. She's going to get to go behind the line here.
Good change up by DeCunha.
Hilltoppers get the ball. Hearing some thunder on our side now, too. Streeto will serve. That's a good one. Too tough to handle. Out of play it goes.
Those long serves, that's what it does. It gives you that line drive, but it's got some zip behind it.
That makes it 14-10. Trying to climb back in 1 point at a time. Chip away. Another good one. That's going to land kind of low.
Those are hard balls to receive.
Yeah, and Shields did a good job digging that one out. Resendiz setting up for DeCunha Silva. He's going to flip it over the net. Still in play.
One.
Griffith. It's long. And Durfee's got it.
It's important for Streeto to keep that ball in play.
3-point game here in set number 3. And that's going to be short. Back to 4, 15-11.
She's got her back almost to the curtain. I love that type of serving. It's very, very hard to receive.
DeKang will serve. Oh, can't play it. That was off of Diaz.
A lot of match left. Just gonna get their serve receive.
Barber sends it over. Third touch coming. Got to reset here and try to kill it. That is with fierce, but it comes right back. Got to do it again.
Take a little off.
And that is a point for the Hilltoppers. So DeCunha Silva gets the reprieve and doesn't let down the fans.
Great volleyball play. Good passing, good setting.
And it shows you got to be ready for anything because it was dug out by the Boxers and it came right back. And they went back, the Hilltoppers went back in their set again.
Resendiz making good decisions, finding the hitters that are hot.
Looking for LaFontaine and sends it over. That is going to be trouble right in front of us. Brockton will serve again.
I call those junk plays during the boys' season. When they don't go your way, you still got to just get it back on the floor and reset.
Cerrito digs it out, but nobody home.
Brockton's doing something unorthodox. I see it in the guys' game a little bit. They're serving really fast, too. There's not a lot. I mean, they're right behind that line, and it's coming right back at you. It's almost like a hurry-up offense. They're not letting Durfee reset their serve-receive.
Well, that one went out of play. So it's 18-13 now, and Durfee will serve.
That's the dangers of doing something like that. The server can rush and lose their momentum, but
yeah,
I see it a little bit on the guy side. It is.
Look at that serve. Good downward motion on it.
Good touch.
Perez looking for the kill. Floats it over, and it falls in. That was a wicked serve there from D'Acunha Silva, probably her best of the night. 18-14.
A lot of match to be played, Durfee. Again, worry about the play in front of them. There's no 4-pointers to tie them up, just one.
Going for another jumper here. And that doesn't get over, though.
She had a tough time on that toss. I knew right away.
So it almost looked like the ball didn't get high enough for her to reset herself.
She had a lot of spin on it.
Yeah.
Brockton's hurry-up offense.
I know.
That's a tough set.
2014, Brockton will serve again. That one goes out of play. So we'll see Shields serve again.
She's been their most consistent. She's been their best server. She's got a lot of movement on that ball.
Couldn't handle that one, though, from Barbara. Durfee gets it back. Very much alive still in this third set. 2015.
D'Acunha
Not
Silva's,
the year, the score.
D'Acunha Silva's got to have double digits by now in the kills already.
Oh, yeah. Nice serve. Nobody home. We've seen a lot of those in this third set, which we did not see that earlier in the match. A lot of these where they're just falling in, and it's free points for your opponent.
Soleil Mayette, not a back row player yet. With the young middles, you tend to just keep them simple in the middle, but when you're such a good server, you have to play at least one round in the back row, and sometimes that's tough.
Timeout, Durfee. 22-15. Bang, bang play there at the net went Brockton's way.
Brockton is on the service line, and they're going quick. It's an interesting strategy.
So after winning the first set, the Hilltoppers in danger of falling behind 2-1 and putting Brockton in a position to win. Streaky game.
They say it's a game of momentum, but sometimes, like I said, it fool's gold that, you got to realize the opponent that you're playing, and sometimes that switchover is the worst thing that happens. You wish everything was going well, and then they had to stop for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And, it gives everybody a chance to reset, and unfortunately sometimes you can reset the wrong way. But
well, Kelly, talking to the team, getting full attention as always and using every minute of this timeout, and I think every second of the timeout. I think part of it is probably to give everybody a break, because you're right, Brockton's played at a fast pace.
Yeah, they've set their own tone the start of game 2, and it goes back to the service line. They haven't made many errors in the service on serves. They've forced Durfee to do some things that they don't want to do, and obviously their hitting, led by Griffith, is really made the difference.
So it is 22-15. Brockton will serve. Christian Kennis will do so. That goes over. The Hilltoppers will send it over another time, and that's going to go out of play. Not the prettiest, but it's still a point.
In volleyball, sometimes, when you don't want the ball, it's going to find you, and you're going to want it, and you're going to want to make plays.
Resendes will serve. Good high floater there. Oh, a little
second
trickery
time
there from Froyo.
Brockton's doing a nice job of seeing the floor and finding the holes. The last two were just touches over to where they weren't.
We saw New Bedford do that a couple times. Joe Haneen used to do that all the time for you. He would just see what was open, and he'd just flip it over himself once in a while just for kicks. That's in. Hilltoppers get it back.
Roland with a surprise hit. She's been back row mostly the games that she's been playing, and that was a nice swing, much needed.
Makes it 23-17. Still a lot of work to do here for the Hilltoppers. Perez will serve. Need a little bit of a run here, like get some of that confidence back that we were talking about. That's a good serve. Griffith back in and still in play. Nice job by the ladies, keeping it in. Griffith gets it back, puts it away, and it is set point.
That's a great net ball by Nicole Parks. That's an instinct play, especially for somebody so new to volleyball. That's a great job.
Froyo will look to serve out set number 3. 24-17 the score. Make it 25-17, and Brockton up 2-1.
Griffith has definitely made the difference these last 2 sets. She offensively and defensively, she's a nice player.
So it is now a 2-1 lead for Brockton. Got to win 3.
Speaking of volleyball players, Maka Corey must be home for Columbus Day.
Yeah.
Great player for me on the boys' side. He's dying to come over and say hello, but I told him we're on the air.
I know, right? No, good to see Mark, though. He up at UNH.
Great thing with the volleyball program and both the boys and girls, it's kind of, on the boys' side, kind of a unique fraternity. A lot of the guys year after year come back, and you're starting to see it on the girls' side. There's a lot of former players in the stands. Columbus Day long weekend. This is usually the first weekend the kids will come home for a little while, and they'll pop into the gym and say hello. It's great to see. I know I love it when the boys come in, and Coach Bouya loves it on her side. So
the only thing that could have made it better was if football was home this weekend, because the football games always draw the alumni when they come back, and playing out in Barnstable for this weekend. So,
yeah, this is always one where the kids will be home for their first weekend. I remember an older guy told me you're not allowed to come home from college until Columbus Day. Durfee's got to get that positive vibe back right away. It's the first 4 to 5 points are going to be very important for them to establish good volleyball plays, get that confidence going. There's still a lot of match to be played, but they've got to, just like the first set, short memory on doing a lot of things well. It's got to be a short memory on the last handful of plays of set number 3. So very important to come out strong.
Well, Coach Landerholm for Brockton's side really only told me one thing pregame, and that was we're looking for consistency. And at 5-7, you're just below 500, and I can see where that would be a true key. And I think that's a key for any team, really, is always trying to build consistency. And I would say that, aside from that first set, they have been pretty consistent. The service game has been very good for Brockton. That's one thing they definitely have excelled in today.
They got rid of a lot of their mistakes in that first set, and they've played a pretty clean volleyball match since then. There were a lot of free balls for Durfee. They've been attacking since, so the consistency has definitely been up for Brockton since the start of set 2.
Our official making sure that all the right players are out there. And then we will get rocking and rolling here with the 4th set.
Score table doing a great job as always. Very challenging scorebook.
Emma Resendiz will start it off. The Hilltoppers will get to serve to start game number 4. Third touch coming, and it can't get over for Durfee. Parks did her darndest there, but she couldn't get enough loft on it. Brockton starts off ahead.
Good start with a good serve. Just a tough ball, dropped in between a few newcomers.
And DeCunha Silva played that one. It might have been going long, and she hits it into the net, 2-0 Brockton. DePina had a lot behind that serve. It looked like it might have been going. Of course, again, always tough to tell when it's coming at your head, basically. Parks flips it over. Going to set up Griffith, and the Hilltoppers can't handle it. So first 3 points go to Brockton. Tough start for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, this was not what I was talking about when we said we wanted to have a great start in the first 4 to 5 points. Griffith is setting the tone. I mean, she's obviously very tall, but she's got a long swing. She's tough to defend. She's getting her hands on a lot defensively, too.
Durfee's going to get the point here, though, on a foul.
Long arms touch the net.
So that makes it 3-1. We'll see Gemily Perez serve.
At this point, the ball's going to go in play and trust your defense. Can't give away points right now.
That is in. They gave up on it. Wow, how about that? So, Christy Kennis and Shields just watch it fall.
I had a lot of wacky spin on it. You know, sometimes those are the ones you need to fall.
Going to try to recreate that here. Another good one there. This time it's played. Griffith, a little tap over. Resendiz down, but able to keep it up. DeCunha Silva sends it over. They'll reset here, try to give... that's cut this time, and it goes out of play, but off of Durfee. So Brockton with the point.
The serve was aggressive. Just because it wasn't an ace doesn't mean it's not aggressive. Durfee's got to, walk the fine line of being aggressive and silly. So silly meaning, over aggressive and, giving away points. Great pass.
Good kill there. Durfee going to get it right back.
That's all it needs to be. The serve receive has been pretty consistent for Durfee. Make good decisions at the net, and you got a good hitter. She's going to make plays. Going to find her.
4-3 in the early goings of set number 4. Hilltoppers have the chance to tie. They'll look to Streeto to do it. It's a good serve played by Christy Kennis, and it'll be Shields sending it over. Resendiz with the set here. DeCunha Silva trying to finish it. It was deflected. It's Durfee ball. So again, a little mental error there for Brockton. We've seen 2 of those. So
now this is a little more of what I was talking about here. There's Durfee's doing it on some volleyball plays. They're attacking. They're not making mistakes. So hopefully this is a good set.
Streeto, I'm sure, wants to keep a bit of a rally going here. A nice flip over there by Froyo. Looking at Cuts. Cuts puts it in.
Went right through the block. Very good swing for Olivia Cuts.
Put it right into the defense, onto the ground.
Volleyball play, though, on Durfee's side. You can live with that. That's what you're supposed to do. So now they got to do what they're supposed to do on the serve-receive end.
To Kangwell serve. That goes out, 5-5.
Use the mistakes when you can. Be aggressive on your end.
This match a little over an hour old here, about an hour and 20. And that's not bad considering we were in the third set, moving right along. I remember doing some matches where it was like, 2 to 2.5 hours, like wicked long, where you're going like, winning 25-23, neck and neck. These have kind of been one-sided sets.
That's been my boys' season the last 2 years.
Yeah.
We've had Steph Pa, an official. She says that she has to rearrange her whole night when she comes in and does one of our games because she knows it's going to be 2.5 hours.
And too much to handle. Hilltoppers take a lead here in set number 4.
Well, they did what I hoped they would do. They set a nice tone to start the fourth. They've established some volleyball plays, and now they've got Brockton pressing a little bit.
Yeah, they've outscored, after Brockton went up 3-zip, they've outscored them 6-2.
They've done it all with good volleyball plays.
And that's going to tie back up, though. Rowland couldn't get it over.
Now you got to bounce back. Mistakes happen. Now, next play.
Yeah, at this point, when you're playing down a set with Brockton in position to win the match, you just got to eliminate the rallies. You can't allow Brockton to go on like a 5-0 run and dig your own hole. You got to get the ball back. So 7-6 there after that point. That one played cleanly. Resendiz will set for DeCunha Silva. She unloads. That one goes into another time zone. A little long there.
Aggressive mistake, but now we're at the point in Brockton's hurry-up offense. Although it just might be Pierre, who's very, very quick in the back.
She really is.
She was the one that I noticed it with last time.
Yeah. And she's going to keep serving 9-6.
She's sprinting to that line. That ball gets in her hands. It's 1-2 bounce and go. And she slowed it down a little bit. She must have heard me from here.
Streeto plays it. Resendiz will set, goes behind her. DeCunha Silva is going to go and stay in play.
That's a tough ball.
And that was touched by Durfee.
That's a
Didn't
tough
let
ball.
it go.
That's one of those, if you let it go, it lands in. If you do that, that's what happens. That's a tough ball.
So we will continue to see Pierre serve. 10-6.
Great job by Jesse Haneen to come back and make a great pass. Street over in the right spot. Durfee's going to reset their defense.
That was sent over by La Fontante. That is just out. So 11-6.
DeCunha's smiling. She knows she just missed it. That's a great spot, and it's an awesome idea. It just didn't land in.
Well, a 5-point lead for Brockton. Going on a run here. That's coming back over. Now Durfee's going to go on D. Streeto keeps it in. Third touch. And 6 in a row for Brockton.
Boy, with a good timeout here.
Yeah.
Still early enough to reset yourself.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see the timeout call. I mean, it just literally like 90 seconds ago it was 6-6, and now it's 12-6, just like that. And the Hilltoppers had gotten some good points there to kind of crawl back initially. They took that lead, and now, and I should say it was 6-5. Now it's 12-6, so actually it's a 7-0 run for Brockton.
It's a term I hate to use, the term volleyball is a game of momentum. But this is definitely a momentum swing right here for Durfee. I'm more into, volleyball is about making plays, but right here, a play there. Couple of hurry-up offenses on Brockton's end, and the momentum swung big time.
And the Boxers still will have control of the ball here, and will get to serve as Pierre has been busy back there. Brockton trying to close in on their 6th victory overall and their first Big 3 win.
Small goals right now, cutting this deficit. If I was on the sideline, I'd say we want to get to 11 before they get to 15, and then and then just break it down that way. Many different ways to get there.
A tough set right there. It was kind of faded towards the net. Looks like they were going for Jessie Haneen.
I don't think so because she's in the back row. I think there was a mishap in the front row. Definitely a mishap in the front row.
She is
That's
in the
exactly
back now.
what
Somebody missed their spot. Acuna Silva sends it over.
Now they have their front row lined up.
Streeto from the ground. Acuna Silva sends it over, keeps it in.
Great pickup.
And Brockton's going to get the point.
On a double hit.
14-6.
Streeto, as always, she's all over the place. She gets touches on a lot of balls. She's a good player.
Oh, Resendiz, nice job. They get it over. No, it was inside. 15-6. Quite the run here for Brockton.
Pierre's done a nice job on her service.
It's a 10-point run for her. Make it 11.
All this happening, too, with Griffith on the bench.
Yes, this is true. Griffith waiting to come back in. Another point going Brockton's way.
Now she's moving the ball into different areas now, too. It's not the same serve every time. She's doing a great job of mixing things up.
Yeah, things have really snowballed for Durfee. It was 6-5 Durfee, and now 17-6. Got good contact on it, and now the block at the net can't even get it to go over.
Right now, the body language is kind of telling it all for Durfee right now, and that's a tough aspect of volleyball. When things don't go well, you're no place to hide. You got to make plays.
That's going to go out. 19-6. Going to be a short fourth set here.
My
Brendan.
math serves me correct. This is a 13-point run for Pierre.
Yeah.
She's doing a great job of moving the ball around.
Yeah, and it's giving the Hilltoppers can't get set. And they can't find anywhere for it to go. They can't bank on one spot.
No, that's the sign of a great server. It's she's making it dance. She's putting it deep too, making Durfee in the back row have some tough decisions.
20-6. Durfee gets a point. Hilltoppers get another there. We apologize if we cut out at home there. We lost our return to in our ears here, the headphones, but I'm not sure if the mic cut out. I don't think it did.
I've always kind of wanted to say this, but was that because we had technical difficulties on the TV end? It's something something I've always wanted to say. Does that fit what we're at?
It does. Of course it does. Anything when there's electronics that fail you.
Could not hear us because we had technical difficulties with our headsets. Yeah. We are back though, right?
Yeah. You know, as the wires, they're snug, trying to stretch over. Oh, and I think I see why now, actually. So we're going to adjust something here. One of the, there we go. There's some slack. So they get, like on your earbuds, there's the glider that can really bring it up to your neck, so they're not flailing in the wind. Well, one of the gliders on the headsets there was pushed up a bit, and so it was putting a lot of tension on the return cable. So there we go, though. We're okay.
That's some new stuff I'm learning on this side of on this side of the court.
Oh, this setup here is these headsets are new as of last year. We had some Sennheisers that they were old. They did not have the mic cable plug-in. They were actually a 1/4-inch plug-in, just a regular phone cable. And so I had to go through a converter box. We call it a direct box. So I'd have to go through that with an adapter, then come out of that with a mic cable into the camera. I mean, we'd have stuff go everywhere. This is...
Yeah,
we bought these. I was looking for new headsets for a long time, and our boss, Renee, I talked to him about it too. I said, these are pretty inexpensive, but Audio-Technica, it's a great brand for microphones. And so I said, can we give these a shot? Because they're all the proper connections. All I need is a splitter going to the headphone jack. That's it. And he said, yeah, let's give it a shot. And these have been fantastic. I mean, they're not the $1,000 Sennheisers that, like Fox is using or Nesson is using.
You could have fooled me.
Believe me, these are so great, and they're very natural sounding. They really get it done in the pinch, and they're easy to transport. Just bring the headset and plug them in. No extracurriculars. So 22-11 the score. That falls in, and Brockton's going to get control here with 2 points away from a victory here.
Brockton going deep into their bench now.
Yeah, Brianna McDonald, number 12, Colleen Kilroy, number 14, out on the court. They were not starters. Rezendi sends it back to DeCunha Silva, and it's into the net. That would have worked if she was playing in front from the back. Got to get it over. Match point for Brockton, 24-11 here in set 4. This is for the win. They'll look to Chrissy Kennis to finish it off. That is in, an ace to win it. Durfee watched it go by.
Brockton, totally different team the last 3 sets.
Man, oh man, you are right.
That didn't look like a 5-7 team the last 3, and as we stated in the opener, that this was an important game for both clubs. And after the first set, Brockton definitely took that to heart.
Yeah, they certainly did. I like this here, the different way of shaking hands and stuff, and showing good sportsmanship between rivals. But definitely I would say almost a bit of a surprise for me, because the way Durfee came out, and based on the records, I thought, well, maybe we'll go to 5. Durfee probably has a chance, but I mean, Brockton really put that notion to rest very quickly after the second and third set. It kind of looked like they were just going to steamroll over, and this last run that they went on just totally took it away from Durfee.
Well, Stephanie Landerholm said that she was looking for some consistency from her team. I think it's something that the Hilltoppers could look for, some consistency. After that first set, they did well for a little while in the start of game 2, but they were very inconsistent after that. The good news is this is a winnable game the next time they meet, and it could end up being one of those games where win and you're in. So, they got to get back to the drawing board. Coach Policino always has these games on film. We have it here. Take a look and, get to a point where, they can beat this team, but, consistency is a key.
Well, Durfee's going to be heading out on the road for much of the rest of the season, other than the next home game, which is against Bishop Conley.
Is it only one more home game?
I think that was. Let's confirm right now. We'll just pull open the photos here.
I feel like there might be 2. There's one.
That's
right.
Yep, there is. Durfee's got a week off. They play New Bedford in New Bedford Friday. Come back home Monday the 16th against Bishop Conley, and then 5 on the road: Somerset, Westport, Bridgewater A&M, Dartmouth, and Brockton. Bunch of South Coast teams here, opponents we see often. So going to be a tough task for the Hilltoppers, but you only got to win 3 games. Plenty of opportunities.
Anything worth doing is challenging. So and especially for these young kids, if you can get into the tournament and win some of these tough games on the road in October, I think it'll bode well. Learning how to win is half the battle. So it's going to be tough, doable, but I think it could be fun too. So.
All right. Well, folks, thanks for tuning in tonight. Always a lot of fun. Girls volleyball inside. For now, for Brendan Kelly, Padek Lack behind the camera, I'm Evan Massoud saying so long from Durfee High School.